Man, this is lifestyles of the poor and unfucking fortunate. But I tell you what, but bitch, we got views.
It's your boy Squint615 with ChadArmesTV, and we're sitting here today doing it a little different.
Hey, I'm not used to being on this side.
Nah, he sure ain't. As you may know, to the right we have Chad Arms, and to the left we have the one and only O.N.E.
What up? What up?
Together, these two gentlemen are currently known as Joe and Jerry. It seems like.
So let's go around, yeah.
Yeah, and you may or may not be aware, but these two gentlemen have an album coming out the 23rd of December, properly entitled Joe and Jerry.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I thought it'd be cool to sit back and maybe get y'all's perspective and maybe tell the people a little bit about, you know, what inspired the album and, you know, how long y'all been knowing each other, working together, you know, how long y'all been plotting on this album and so forth, man. Just pick y'all's minds a little bit for the fans of ChadArmesTV.
Man, it's been a long time coming. This is something that should have been done a long time ago, probably.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Well, let's start. Where'd y'all meet at? How long y'all known each other?
Man,
You got to go back probably. I don't officially know where we met, but I was a fan of one, obviously, from Welcome to the Trap House, and from on the soundtrack to an Indictment mixtape Struggle did, the Enchilada track, the feature
classics,
yeah. And then we must have met somehow through Jelly back in the day, or a show or something.
Some
Worm
show.
or
It's funny you say that, man, because I can't remember the exact time either. But I'm sure it was a show. It was a studio session. It was something.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it just kind of clicked. You know what I mean?
It was like that house arrest era kind of.
Yeah, it was around that time frame, and then one just started doing tracks with us and was showing proof pretty quick, like, you know, because back then, I mean, shit, man, it was, you know, a lot of us, bro.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, we were the Nashville's Wu-Tang.
Facts.
So yeah, I remember back at that time, it was like there was so many of us, and I don't even want to start naming because I'm gonna forget somebody and I'm gonna feel terrible. Everybody knows back in the day, Show and Prove was deep, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we started linking up. It was around I want to say I know when it was because it was around Fat Boy Swag 2, which was 2011.
Yeah.
But O.N.E was in the Nice Guys Die First video too, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you was.
I
We
was.
were all in.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
I remember
bro.
that.
I just watched that video not too long ago.
Yeah, bro. So that was 2011. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I want to say I dropped Fat Boy Swag 2 4/20 2011. So, and you were on Money Train. That's the first song. Ooh. Money Train and Take a Ride Part 2 or Part 1 was the two songs that we did back then. And then we did the Click song, the Eating Good.
Yeah,
oh man, wow!
6 minutes and 15 seconds.
For sure, for sure.
615 song. That's how I always remember.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about that story too is we were all chilling at Hooters before. And you see clips of it on the YouTube video. Worms being funny, and
it's crazy, man.
Blaze, B. Howard, Tones there, Squints, Big Baby,
Ice Cold J was
Ice Cold J,
B. Howard,
everybody. Yeah, and we all went to some studio. I don't even remember who.
OG3.
It was OG. Okay, Chad. But we went and knocked it out, man. It was, and I think we had a show at the Rutledge that night, or something was up at the Rutledge.
Yeah, there was something going on. We had an all-day event, though. I remember that. There is footage of this, though, on ChadArmesTV of us eating prior to the event.
And that's, I mean, those, back then, man, that's how it kind of kicked off.
Yeah.
You know, and ever since then, man, we just been clicked in like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Well, that's how that's.
Well, you both took a good break, you know, when Show and Prove kind of fizzled out. I wouldn't say fizzled out. We all just hit pause for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was almost like we had almost stopped working, but at the same time, I want to say we hit pause because when we unpaused it, look where we are now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what it was. I fell off the face of the earth for 2 years, and that's what
Fact.
I got burned out. Like, because I was going 10 years straight with no break, putting out so many projects of my own, and then we was doing shows. I was in and out, I was doing drugs. I was drinking a lot. It was just
drugs played a huge part in those days.
Bro. That's all we were always.
Drugs.
Yeah, we were always twacked or drunk or something. That's why a lot of people that hit me up about stuff about that happened back in those days, if it's not on camera via ChadArmesTV, I don't really remember it, bro. And that's just because I was.
Oh man,
not, you know what I mean?
Oh man, it was so many shows, man. Well, I ain't gonna say so many shows, but there was shows that you know I showed up at drunk out my ass, man. I'm on stage. People had to you know carry me up on stage for me to perform and shit like that, man. But shit was wild as hell back then, man. It was a hot mess.
Yeah, so I guess we can kind of bring it up to kind of speed. So we both I took a few years off, came back in 2014, started doing music again. 15, 16, I started dropping projects since 2017.
I had to step away from the game back. What's this? 22. Yeah. So I had to step away from the game back in 14. I guess you say, maybe 12. You know, due to some family issues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to take care of I had to step up and take care of my business. But that's mainly the reason for my absence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I can't lie, it was much needed. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't do it no different than the way that I did it, because the way that we came back together, man, and the way things are working now, it's a whole lot, man. It's I don't know. It's mind blowing. I was just talking to bruh earlier about, man, like I didn't realize how much this shit was gonna take off. When we decided to, you know what I mean? Well, when I decided to get back in it and do some things, man. But, man, shout out to my guys, man.
Yeah, man. And I remember we got back in touch. We still kept in touch somewhat, but like Worm's funeral is when we got linked back up.
Yeah.
And even at Worm's funeral, you know, we had talked about, are you trying to get back into doing music and stuff? And you were kind of like, so I think I sent you some beats or something, or I sent you something.
Yeah. And right then, man, because me and bro was supposed to have been working on some stuff. And
you and Worm were supposed to work on a collab project.
Me and Worm was supposed to do a collab project, and that never happened, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, I don't know, it just had me thinking about some things, and that's honestly, man, one of the huge factors into me getting back into music.
Yeah, man.
Rest in peace, Fizzle, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, Wizzle, man, for sure. And I want to say, so after that, because at this point, this was 2021, I would periodically hit you up, seeing if you were still wanting to do stuff.
Yeah.
And then at some point, it got up to where you talked to, maybe was it Squints about the podcast?
I believe so, man. I think it was, I don't even think it was a conversation just about the podcast initially.
Yeah.
I think it was just a conversation, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because other than outside of the music, man, like these are really my guys.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that whole hiatus, or however you say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was. I had a bunch of serious and real life shit going on. So, but at the same time, I was being distant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And kind of stuck off into my own little corner, my own little bubble and shit. So around that time, man, I needed my fellas. You know what I'm saying? I needed my guys. And so I think shit, man, worked out the way that it did, based off of that, and then the music and everything else just secondary.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Because once you got back on the podcast, it was like we never lost touch. We just jumped right back where we were at.
Yeah.
10 years previous, pretty much, you know. And then that led to you just coming on the podcast more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you did an episode with just you and Squints.
Yeah.
And then you started coming on coming onto the podcast pretty regularly.
Yeah. And what's dope, man? What's dope, and I speak about this on one of those episodes. It's like, you know, even though that I stepped away from the game, people never let me really just step all the way. It was always, man, we need some more music. When you gonna get back to this, man? You need to keep going, yada yada yada. So the fans had a lot to do with it as well. But it was, I don't know, it just kind of gradually grew into, you know, what it's becoming now, man, and it's a blessing. It's a huge blessing.
Yeah, man, for sure. You want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, and I'm sure they're kind of. Where did what inspired Joe and Jerry as the title?
Okay, yeah. So when we were we started doing the podcast stuff with one, getting him on here regularly. So he became a co-host on the podcast. Well, then me and him was like, I need to get you on a song.
Mm-hmm.
So that turned into us doing a song, and then we did a few songs. We were like, well, fuck it, let's make an album together.
Yeah.
It's kind of what happened with it.
And our chemistry is so crazy that it's like these songs just come naturally. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's easy to do. So when he said it was like, hey, let's do this, it just made sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's man, how long it take us to do? How long it take?
Oh, bro, like we finished the album in less than a month, bro.
Yeah.
And you got to think that's like a studio session a week.
Yeah.
And we finished. You see what I'm saying? So like
I guess my question was a little out of sequence.
No,
I asked it a little early, but
you're good.
I guess let me jump in and just say, here you go, fun fact. They talked about an EP originally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it was just like a few, they talked about doing a record, and then it turned into a couple records, and then a few records, and then talks of an EP. Mm-hmm. And then we got away from that.
Yeah.
Now we're at an album. We're at album status.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be doing multiples.
And now there's multiple albums in line. But I guess that's what led me to my question about Joe and Jerry.
Yeah. So, like he was going back to what one was saying about the chemistry, like we had only collabed on a couple of songs years prior, right? Mm-hmm. Well, once we saw how easily the songs came together and how they turned out, and then we had some stuff fall in our lap production-wise, and I've been sitting on beats that I've had for months or years. From shout out to Wee Wee, shout out to Dub 3030, shout out to Killa. So we started, let's do another song, let's do more than one.
Yeah.
In the EP, and then it became an album. So when we started sitting there thinking, what are we going to call it? Clearly, it's easy to go with the duo route because it's just kind of, and plus we love sports. We talk about it on the podcast a lot. So me and him sat on the phone for an hour one night trying to figure out, well, what about this? And then we look it up, and then there'd be 10 different albums called that.
Absolutely.
Whether it's Shaq and Kobe, shout out to Fate and Elroy, they did that one. But we thought of so many other ones, Mike and Scotty.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So we started kind of going through it. Then we were like, well, let's not just keep it with basketball. Let's think about, what about football? Mm-hmm. So then we thought about Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. We were like, oh, fuck yeah, that's dope.
And it fits so good because for one, man, we both think highly of our capabilities and our skills. You know what I mean? Like if not no flex or nothing like that. We think we're goats in our own right. You know what I mean? And when we get together, the chemistry is so good that like good things happen, and it's the same thing with Joe and Jerry. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
When they got together, good things happen, and they both goats in their own right. So it just makes sense.
No, for sure. And we've already got the next one themed out. We already know how we're going to do the next one, but sticking on this one, December 23rd is when we're dropping the album. We've already got a visual up that's close to, when this is being filmed, it's almost at 50K in like 2 weeks. Yeah. Back jumping.
Appreciate y'all for that too.
For sure. Thank y'all so much, man, for that.
And if y'all like, what's wild, if y'all like back jumping this much, then that just makes us feel even better about the rest of the songs, about the whole album. Because I would say that even though I love back jumping, it's a hard song. Mm-hmm. We got 9 others, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 10 tracks, yeah.
Yeah, we got 9 others that's either there or it exceeds it. So I think y'all will love this project. No,
for sure, man. And we've got other visuals planned. I'll probably drop this, I don't know, in a week or so. I don't know when I'll drop it, but we've got some really dope features on the album. The album is produced, the majority of it's produced by We Play That Beat Wee Wee. Yeah. But we got 2 from Stone Baby Sounds. Dub 3030 did one, and then Killa did one, who produced on my Dedicated album. He did Practice on Dedicated. So
the production is crazy.
Yeah.
The production is crazy on it. Like every last one of them delivered. And man, it's just everything that we got. It's so easy to put a project together for us, but this can't be the only one.
No, man,
So-
we're already. I mean, we've already got songs, you know, potentially for the next project. We're already thinking ahead, and that's in the midst of him working on solo album,
Absolutely.
me working on solo album. Me and Leroy are doing Bad Habits too. Me and Legacy are doing a collab project. So the us doing the podcast full time with Squizzles, like we're juggling a lot, but it's easy because
Working.
it's work, but it's like it's so enjoyable that it doesn't really feel like work.
Absolutely.
But as we're doing this, as we're doing the interview, Squinch is doing our artwork for our album.
Literally, right now.
We do everything in house, bro.
Yeah.
Like if it's not in house, we've got somebody that's this far away that we just throw the ball to.
Yeah.
Whether it be production. Shout out to Sam Rothstein, he recorded the entire album.
Yeah. Yeah.
All facts, dude.
Shout out to Dub, he mixed and mastered everything except the two that Stoner did.
Yeah.
And his guy Moses mastering did those two, so shout out to them.
Yeah, man. Like it's top notch, high quality music, man. From everything from the production, the recording, the music itself. You know, it's high quality. You know what I mean? And I think that y'all like it. Matter of fact, I know that y'all would like it.
Yeah, and it's a good mixture, man, because there's a good good mix of songs on the album that I feel like, and I think 10's just it's a solid number of songs, especially the climate being what it is today musically.
Yeah.
Everything is less is more. My dedicated album, I had less songs than I've had on any project, and it's by far my best, my most successful, one. And not only that, it's easier because the attention span now, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Like there's like
man.
2 songs on the album that's 4 minutes. Everything else is like 2.5 to 3 minutes because that's just kind of the norm.
And the vibe of the song, like you go from we got the turned up tracks.
Yeah.
We bumping for sure. We gonna make you bounce. We gonna make you do all that right there. But we also got some more vibed out tracks. Something laid back. You know, what I mean, something to make you think.
Yeah.
There's some tracks that you can feel, like big records. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about it. I know Bruh's excited about it.
No,
Like,
for sure.
This
I'm so excited about it.
You know what I'm saying?
The people are excited, man. They like I told him, man, I don't think he didn't realize how many people still listen to Welcome to the Trap House, bro.
I didn't.
To this day.
Yeah.
And that wondered where he was at. Is he doing more music?
Yeah. But,
I'm just as excited about him jumping back in it than as he is. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's another reason why I think that his collab album was. I'm glad that it's the way it is because we can do an album together and hopefully I can put you out there to more eyes and ears.
I mean,
you know?
and it's helpful to me, man, because like you don't just get back off into something, man, and just start running right away. You know what I mean? Like I literally stepped away from the game for a while, and this whole process is giving me opportunity to get my feet wet. To you know what I'm saying, to kind of walk back into this situation because a lot of shit done changed.
Yeah.
A lot of shit done changed, the way things done, the way the music is distributed. A lot of shit has changed. You know, so this is giving me an opportunity to get back in the swing of things, man. And like I say, shout out to my guys because I'm in a blessed situation. I'm in a blessed situation, man. But this music is fucking nuts.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about it, bro, and I think y'all are gonna love it. If y'all like back jumping, y'all are gonna love the album, bro.
Yeah.
December 23rd. This is what I need from y'all, man. Watching this video, and I'm gonna clip this for Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We need y'all's help, right? We're trying to chart on iTunes.
Yeah.
So whenever we drop this, there's going to be a pre-order link for iTunes. I need everybody that has Apple to go over to iTunes. The album's going to be $7.99. Go pre-order it. The more people that pre-order it, the better. The higher the chances of us charting on the iTunes charts.
Absolutely.
And I want him to chart, man. We was able to chart with Dedicated.
Absolutely.
Number 5, hip hop. Me and Leroy charted with Bad Habits. That was my first time charting when we dropped that. So shout out to Leroy for that. We charted 6 in hip hop. So
and it's worth the chart.
For sure, bro.
The body of work that's that you guys are getting, man. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. I think you won't be disappointed. Man, let's run that thing up. Let's push that thing like crazy, man. I think if back jumping is an example of what's to come, this thing is gonna be real nice, man.
Yeah,
real good.
and I'll say this: depending on how good it does, that'll just depend on how quick we give y'all another one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So y'all can kind of determine that in your own right, really, because we're gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
We just need y'all to show the support what y'all are already doing. We appreciate it. But we just thought it would be dope to kind of do this kind of sit down and talk a little bit more about Joe and Jerry.
Yeah. And for everybody that pushed me, and that's, for one, everybody that support us, thank you. We love you. Let's go all the way with this right here.
Mm-hmm.
A special thank you to everybody that stayed in my inbox, stayed in my comments, stayed in my DMs,
yeah.
like with support and wanting more. Thank you so much, because like y'all was a huge factor as well as everything else into you know what I'm saying, this coming. So yeah, appreciate y'all.
Hell yeah,
man,
Joe and Jerry,
crazy.
December 23rd.
Joe and Jerry, man.
let's get it, man. We're about to shoot a podcast because that's what we do.
Work.
Bow.